clients show up to their wealth advisors, their tax planners, their attorneys to help them deal with their wealth and their tax issues after all. And you're speaking to them about ethical issues and values and legacy planning, aren't you?
Absolutely. And that's been a bit of a constraint in the practice of law because the good thing about law is that it is supposed to provide advocacy for the client and uh, I would say it is sort of lower risk structures that ultimately meet the client's goals. But because of restrictions by jurisdiction, by scope of work, by practice areas, and what can and cannot be done, and conflict of interest rules, it is impossible for a legal professional within a law firm structure to be able to really understand the person you're working with. So you're always waiting for the client to bring you assumptions about where they think they should land. And I mean, it's like, not to bring AI into the conversation, but this is true. The reason you know that this is a back-ended way of doing it is that the clients are now going to chat GPT to come up with what the question is they should ask their advisor. Whereas if the advisor is speaking to them as a complete person with their values and ethics, they would not need to ask ChatGPT to translate the question that they need to ask their advisor. So what we're getting at is that you really need a governance structure and you need advisors, and especially in situations where you have advisors within the philanthropic sector, like American Heart Association, you are able to get to the core of what the client actually wants and then back into the technical sector. I'm known as a cross-border tax attorney. The client comes to me and has a cross-border tax question. They're not thinking about the fact that I could actually design an entire structure, considering that their passion is, and this is based on one of the actual stories, is that a spouse suddenly passed away from a heart attack. This individual was already very inclined to be in the innovation industry and had done various things. I never actually spoke about doing anything philanthropically to further um, charity in health care specifically, because that wasn't the industry they were in. But learning the person's life story, you can sort of design an infrastructure by which their existing business and existing innovation can actually fund sources that they actually cared about, which was the fact that their spouse passed away from a heart attack, and it wasn't that they had built the latest technology for spaceships. So you can get to that divide, but that is every advisor. The client walks in assuming that the advisor can only answer the questions that are in what they provide as a product or a service. So, and then the advisor only follows up and asks the questions or deals with the range that they can and what they can provide. It's not it's not malpractice, it's not incompetence on anybody's part. It is wholly inefficient to have a philosophical conversation with every single person, but in reality for philanthropic planning that's what you need.